Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. My name is Carmen Ventrucci, and today is the very first interview in an interview series I plan on starting about people who have taken massive actions to design their life. Now, I am here with my good friend, Cesar Espino. Cesar has just this outstandingly amazing story. He definitely is one of us who has taken action to design the life he wants to live. And I wanted him to be the very first person I interviewed for this series of interviews. So Cesar wears all sorts of hats. He is an author. He has 2 books right here he has authored, which are both excellent reads. He is a real estate investor, a coach, I'm missing something. What else do you do?
Business consultant.
Business consultant.
We're both part of the NLP practitioners.
Yes,
so
an NLP coach and a family guy. He's a dad.
Yes, I am.
And has a wonderful daughter and a wonderful grandson.
Yes.
So, Cesar, I want to ask you a couple questions about your life. If you could just kind of, you are now an American citizen.
I am.
You were born in Mexico.
Yes.
Could you tell us the story of how you came to the U.S.?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, my name is Cesar Espino, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful to be here and for you to having me. So I'm really thankful for that. So thank you so much.
Welcome.
So yeah, I was born in Mexico City, and as a matter of fact, I came here when I was 10. And for me, a lot of my life and how everything started was when I was born, right? A lot of times, you look at the moment you were born is where you a lot of people feel that that's the destiny you're gonna have, or that's the society or the environment you're born into, right? And so for me, I was born into just one parent, single parent, my mom, and it was my older brother who's 2 years older, my grandmother, and myself, and it was only the 4 of us, and we were born in this society where really we were the lowest of the lowest in terms of the classification in Mexico, right? We didn't have anything. We actually lived in a room which we consider to be our house, about 250 square feet, and that was our home. It was made out of wood. It was made out of sheet metal. No running water, no electricity. Really dirt floor. That's where we were born. And when you're born in that sense, you feel like that's your destiny, right? You don't have anything to do. Well, for me, at the age of 4, I was literally just 3-4 months after I turned 4. My mom decided to take her own leap of faith. Kind of jumping and doing something for herself. She decided to actually leave us behind and come chasing the American dream. So she came to the States. She left all of us behind. And for me, that's the moment that my life changed. Because at that point, it was just my older brother and my grandma. And now I had to learn how to grow up and become a man, per se, right? At the age of 4, I started working. I was selling food and other things at the flea market. That didn't work out too good, by the way. And so we ended up doing other things, right? So I didn't have a childhood. I didn't really have the ability to play with kids or do other things. I had, my life was I go to school, come back, and I have to, work to survive. So we literally had to do something to survive. And at one point, we ended up buying our own sewing machines, all of us. We had a sewing machine, and I used to sew clothes to be able to live. There was times we didn't have anything. There was times that we actually had what I consider to be the Mexican specialty dish, which is a tortilla with grain of salt, and that's all we had for days in and days out. And so that was my life, and I'm like, man, is this really what I have to live by for the rest of my life? I'm glad that at the age of 10, my mom decided to come back, and she actually decided to bring us to the States. And so I migrated at the age of 10. Now, mind you, at the age of 7, I came for a mini vacation, if you want to call that, to the States, and you can actually find that on my book, where we came just to be here for a couple of months, and then we went back to reality, like reality hit again. My biggest challenge, and I think this is where people might see this, my biggest challenge for me was that when I came here, I was not used to this life, number one. Number two, I felt lonely. I went through these very difficult times. I didn't have anyone. I couldn't communicate with anyone. I couldn't do anything just because I didn't understand the language. It was all, Mexico's just really all Mexicans, right? And you come here, you have all these different nationalities, different cultures, and now you cannot even, I am not able to communicate. So to me, it was really hard to adjust to that. I remember one time telling my dad, who's my dad now, he's my stepdad, and I recognize him as my dad, and I was so angry at myself too, and I said, you are not, first of all, you're not my dad, right? Number two, you cannot tell me what to do. And I was like 10 and a half. And I said, number three, I want to go back to Mexico. I don't belong here. So here's the thing that many people face, right, and are challenged with, is that sometimes you're so afraid of the unknown that you are okay to go back to what you're comfortable with. I was comfortable being poor. I was comfortable having a life where I had to work. I was comfortable not having anything. Because I was so afraid of that fear of what this country can give to me, right?
Right. I think you hit on a really good point, Cesar, that so many of us, no matter what the situation is, might be afraid of the unknown.
Right.
And sometimes that fear just paralyzes us.
Yeah.
And it keeps us in a situation that we truly don't want to be in.
Right.
I mean, you see it in relationships, you see it with friendships, marriages, you see it in people staying in jobs, maybe they no longer find fulfilling. And so what would your advice to somebody be who maybe has identified that situation that they no longer want and they want to do something different? How would you advise them to get over that fear and move on?
I would say the best thing to do is you got to be able to face that fear head on, right? You got to be able to just embrace that, surrender to an extent. And going back to that, I'm glad my dad at that point didn't take me back to Mexico. I'm glad he allowed me to stay here, or he didn't listen to me. Otherwise, things would be different. And I'm glad he did that. And then now going back and realizing that, I'm like, that was really, for me, it was really bad for me, asking for that. The fact that I'm here, it was one of those fears. I had to face it. So what I had to do is I had to now embrace this new culture. I literally needed to understand how to communicate with people. It took me about 2 years to be able to communicate, learn the language, and embrace that change. And so a lot of times, even the unknown, you have to be able to take it head on and just be said, you know what? It doesn't serve me to fight it. What can I do to be able to embrace it that is going to serve the purpose that I'm looking to serve, right? And so that's probably the best thing that I can tell people is like just head on with that and just take that, take it, embrace it,
Wonderful.
Yeah, one thing that I came across, and I throughout my life I've gone through so many different obstacles. One very similar thing that I'm hopefully we're going to touch about is just like you leaving your corporate job, having a good job. Fast forward many years, after I came to the States, I worked for corporate America, a very well established worldwide company. Working in corporate, I was in charge of project management, engineering, and all the pricing for the entire U.S. That was my very last job. And I remember in 2017, I think it was the year that I decided to do this, or 2018 was last year, almost a year and a half. 2018, from 2017 going to 2018, I said, you know what, I love what I do. I've been able to travel a lot. I do a lot. I get paid really good, way over 6 figures. And it's very comfortable. I need to quit my job because there's something missing, and fear sunk in. Fear's like it just took over any power that I had. And the day that I said I was gonna go back and give my 2 weeks notice, it turned out to be that I didn't do it. It cost me a relationship. It cost me anxiety. It cost me stress. It cost me so many different things. Fast forward 7 months after, from the point that I should have done it, I said, you know what? It came back. I'm like, I need to do this.
Right.
At that point, I actually followed through. I followed through, and I gave them a three month notice to leave my corporate job and go into that unknown. When I look back at that moment, it's like, man, I'm so, I'm glad that I did this. I would have been a lot better if I would have done it the day that I said I would have done it. I would have probably saved a lot of relationships. I would have saved a lot of headaches, a lot of things. Now it is what it is. I'm glad I went through it though. Except a lot of people are going through the same challenge, right? It's that fear of the unknown. You don't want to face it,
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. So I remember the day I gave my notice to leave my corporate job. I was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. I was, on the phone with my husband Drew going, oh my gosh, am I gonna do it? I was on the phone with another good friend at the same time going, oh my gosh. And then I did it. And I was just like, I rule.
Yeah.
I can do anything. I just did that. I can do anything. So I understand what you mean. It is scary, and the unknown can be tough, and sometimes it's worth it.
Right.
You just have to take the leap and take the action and go.
Yeah, exactly. So, and so, I mean, and a lot of that, it comes down to that. I mean, what is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate purpose, right? And so for me, I felt that although I had a good job and I've done so many great things throughout my career, I guess, there was something missing, right? And I think we have, that's one thing that I really love about you is that we share a lot of great things. We're doing a lot of things together, and so we share the same, the same passion. And so at the end of the day, that's what it came down to, is like, you know what, there's something bigger for me. What else can I do, for the people, and people that are following me. And so that's the reason why I say, you know what, I gotta quit. As a matter of fact, doing that, then it drove me to write this book, which talks a lot about my struggles and obstacles, yet also the ideas and mind shifts that I had to go through. And then I'm glad that you and I did this book together right here.
I happen to be wearing the same outfit I'm wearing in
oh yeah, you are.
book picture. That was a coincidence.
Almost, not quite.
So.
It's that this same thing though, right? Doing this project with you was awesome, because at the end of the day, it's talking about that story. It's talking about the things we have to go through to really overcome what we have to overcome.
So let me ask you a question. I know you've made a lot of decisions throughout your life that maybe people who are close to you don't understand, and they will give you some grief and complain a little bit about it. How do you deal with those people when you're in that situation and they're close to you and you love them and they just don't understand?
Yeah, I think for me, and again, we share the same mentor too, so I've learned a lot from that community, and it comes down to, at the end of the day, the one person you have to make sure you please, and you have to make sure that you take care of. Obviously, if you're in a loving family and the person supporting you, that's great, right? Sometimes you don't have that. So either way, though, the one person you have to please is yourself. So one thing that I tell myself is that when you wake up, the person you have to say I love you or forgive or whatever the case may be, or really not only do those things but also sell the idea that what you're doing makes sense, is that person you see every morning when you wake up on the mirror. It's yourself, right? And so not allowing other people's opinions handicap you, not allowing other people's opinions take the power away from you, is going to be the salvation of your future. We are so hung up on what is this person going to believe, what is that person going to believe, or even family members. A lot of times it's your family members or your closest friends that are not supporting you. It's people that you think they're going to give you their 100%. They don't. It's really other people. And so what I would tell is, make sure you're focusing on yourself, you're taking care of yourself, make sure that you tell yourself that every morning, every night. I tell it to myself every morning, Cesar, I love you, Cesar, I appreciate you, Cesar, I thank you. I've been doing that now, and it serves a good purpose. At first it was weird, because I look at myself, I'm like, I can't do this, Now I do it, and I'm like, I smile.
Now it's comfortable.
It's comfortable,
Yeah.
And so it's that thing, you have to do the uncomfortable things to get comfortable, right? And the second thing is, you have to continue to work on yourself.
Good.
You have to continue to work harder on yourself than you do on anybody else.
Perfect. And so I want to go back to the comfort versus discomfort for a minute. So see, if you guys were following me last summer, my husband Drew and I did the 75 Hard Challenge. It was a 75-day challenge where you had to do all this crazy stuff, including no alcohol, 2 workouts a day, drinking a gallon of water. Cesar was doing it along with us. He was just a couple days ahead of us. He is currently my accountability buddy for phase 1 of the 75 Hard Challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. Day 18 today?
Yes.
Day 18?
Day 18.
So, it's no alcohol, 2 workouts a day, a 5-minute cold shower, which we don't care for too much, and we do it. It's easy to do. You just stand there for 5 minutes. But I really want to go back to that. That be uncomfortable, or excuse me, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. How does that help you?
It has really given me a lot of breakthroughs, because at the end of the day, it's like anything, right? Sometimes you feel like you cannot do something until you actually are doing it, or you're in the moment of doing it, right? And so a lot of times, again, you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable, and a lot of that comes down to being committed too, right?
Right.
Being able to say, this doesn't feel right, or is this really serving me, and just still doing that action, right? A lot of times it's like, things that serve you, like I need to read this, or I need to listen to this, or I need to turn on the TV. You're comfortable getting on the couch and watching TV. How about forget about that and be uncomfortable reading a book or picking up something else and not doing that action? And sometimes, like, does that serve me? And the point is, yes, it does, right? You have to be able to do it. So for me, what it has really done, it has really changed my the dynamics in the way that I think. Number one. Number two, it has given me a purpose, and what I mean by that is that the purpose is that there's something bigger and greater that I'm gonna get at the end of that journey, whatever that might be, whatever I'm working on, right? And so doing this phase 1 challenge is like right now we're both traveling, we're away from home, and it's hard to do it. And so Les Brown talks about this. It says, if it's hard, then do it harder. Just
Right.
do it hard. Period. Just keep doing it. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. Just keep doing it.
Right.
Do the action. Right. That's commitment. That's the fact that you're gonna do it. We were working out late a couple of days before. It's like it's super late. We're still doing it. You know.
It's like life will be hard.
Yeah.
That's one guarantee. Life will,
Right.
Everybody will have hard in their
Yeah.
life.
Right.
And it's how you deal with it that makes you who you truly are.
Right. You know, with that, there's another one that Les Brown talks about this, and I like this. That quote, he says, "If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy." And I believe in that, and I rather do the hard things now to have a better life
Right.
later. Same thing what you're doing when you left your job. When I left my job, you know, that was a hard decision to do, yet is going to reward us at the end of the day.
Right.
Instead of us sticking to what it seems to be easy by staying on a secure job where we're getting this secure paycheck and
For those of you
benefits.
listening, air quote, secure job, air quote, secure benefits.
Yes, exactly. And so all of that is, we feel like we're secure, yet we're not, because we're under somebody else's time frame,
Right.
somebody else's, you know, agenda, right?
So I want to talk about your book for a second.
Yes.
So first of all, where can people find your book?
So you can find my book at Amazon, or if you want, you can go to my website, which is actually my name, CesarRespino.com. So www.CesarRespino.com, and you can find it there.
Yes. So this is a wonderful book. It's a fast read. I would think I read it in about one night because it's that good. And I love the title because really this is what I preach. I just call it something else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the title of Cesar's book is you can overcome anything, even when the world says no. I just butchered your title. Should I do that again? You can overcome anything, even when the world says no. And for those of you that know me well and have been following my story over the past year, my family uses the word SISU basically as our motto for life. What SISU is, SISU, it is a Finnish term. It really doesn't have a direct translation into English. And it means having the grit, tenacity, and courage to overcome anything, no matter the obstacle, no matter the odds. Right? And that is basically what Cesar is writing about in his book. So, like I said, I really resonated with your book. We've had total different experiences growing up.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of similar mindset
Right.
in order to overcome everything we had to overcome. So this is an excellent book. I highly recommend it. If you order it from his website, he'll probably even sign it for you when
Yes.
he sends it to you.
Definitely.
So
Yep.
I encourage you to do that. So Cesar, your website is CesarRespino.com.
Yep.
Where else can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook under my name, Cesar R. Espino. Instagram, C2REI.
Okay.
The C and the number 2 REI. LinkedIn, my name. So yeah.
And I tagged him in this post on the video, so
Yes.
go ahead and click on it and find him on Facebook. Okay, so I want to wwrap up with some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And this is where I like to have fun with people.
Oh,
so
man. Let's do it.
you just got to go with it.
Okay.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Mint chip.
Mint chip?
Yeah.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Who's your favorite celebrity?
Ooh.
Actor. Who's your favorite actor?
Actor. I would say Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. What was the best read, aside from your book, the best book you read in 2019?
2019. I would say I read it a couple of times. So Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. That is a good one.
Yes.
Okay. Where's your next vacation?
It is actually in 2 weeks. Come down for my birthday.
Ah, the birthday party.
Yes. Cabo San Lucas.
Okay. What's your favorite wine?
Red wine.
As long as it's red, it
Yeah,
doesn't
red,
matter.
red is yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't discern too much. All right. If you could have any animal for a pet in the world, what would it be?
Ooh.
Don't say the dog you already have.
I know, or my cat. Okay, a monkey.
You want a monkey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the
The
little
you know,
monkey?
the little
or?
the ones that you can see like at circus or they
Okay.
you know yeah, like the one in Abu from Aladdin.
Oh, a boo.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
yeah. That kind of monkey.
Or is that a poo? It's a poo.
Abu or Abu, one of those guys.
Yeah, a poo. Okay. All right. Okay. You've taken a lot of steps to design your life already. What is your next step to design your life?
So to me, it's gonna be exactly what we're doing right now. Just doing more of this continuous improvement. So you and I both did this, and you've done it too. So I created a battle board for 2020, and I have some very aggressive goals for 2020. Part of that is this year is going to be more of growing, except this year is also going to be more about how can I give back to the community, how can I empower, inspire, and help other people through their journey.
Beautiful. And I know you have traveled to Mexico quite a bit for, I don't know if it's Habitat for Humanity or something similar.
Something very similar, right? Yeah, so it's being able to help other people that don't have anything. And again, I relate to a lot of that because that's where I came from.
Right.
And so being able to help people that have nothing, give them the ability to have a home, more than just their and plywood or whatever, and so being able to have that home, and just connecting with that. One thing that's critical about that too is that as much as we're helping them, they're helping us become better people.
Right.
And although I'm part of that and I came from that environment, I still go back and it reminds me that, you know what, life is precious. We gotta continue to embrace it, and every day that we're born is a blessing because what else can we have? So
beautiful. That is a beautiful thought to end on.
Yes.
So Cesar, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for kicking off the inaugural interview of what's going to prove to be an awesome interview series.
Yeah.
I am Carmen Ventrucci. Keep taking those actions to design the life you want to live. You are worth it and you deserve it, and we only get one life. So make it what you want. Have a great Sunday. We are heading back to our seminar with our mentor Marshall Silver and some great friends who are with us here. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. Please, if you're not friends with Cesar, friend Cesar on Facebook. He's doing some amazing things and he truly is an inspiration to me. So thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.